Alright. I'll ramble on this as well. Initially, Spirit was supposed to be at the end of the interseasonal, but what the hell? People from both sectors wanted it. I'm not that opposed to it, since this is Disney and it's been a long time since I've done something my subscribers wanted, so Gravity Falls it is. Gravity Falls is a 2-season-long cartoon series created by Disney, from which I've watched only 12 episodes, because watch the first episode of this interseasonal, you lazy layabouts. The story is, as per usual, pretty basic. Two twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines, were free-ranged to their uncle on summer vacation in some shithole in Oregon named Gravity Falls. Then Dipper finds a magical journal about magical stuff, and to no one's surprise, shenanigans ensues. It reminds me of Hilda, to some degree at least, only with typical Americana instead of Scandinavia land. Yeah, for the most part, the plot of Gravity Falls is loose. The episodes are connected with each other in that sort of sly way, but if you were to just turn your brain off and watch it as is, you won't miss out much. It's probably for the best to make such a story in a Western environment anyway, as to be frank, Western animation has a bad habit of either being just a bunch of episodes without any connection whatsoever, or these grand epic stories where the narrative is constantly shoved down your throat. The visuals are quite neat, all things considered. They're drawn consistently, so none of that annoying style fluctuation like in KO. The animation is pretty fluid, and the 3D elements are fortunately used quite sparingly. On the other hand, the music was not so impressive. Hilda vibes once again reminded me of themselves, though I suppose since this came earlier, Hilda is the one to blame for copying Gravity Falls as homework. But there are two things that greatly annoyed me: the voice acting and the jokes. I don't know about you, but when I imagine the voice of a 12-year-old boy, I don't imagine my voice only slightly lower pitched. And I also don't imagine a police deputy to sound like a screeching goblin, which is especially disconcerting since they're apparently gay, and that means that eventually, somewhere off screen, one of these two penetrates another, and whoever does it, the deputy will go and that is not a pleasant image to conjure. The jokes are, for the most part, okay. They're divided into slapstick, visual and audio gags, and occasionally pop culture references. The latter being, to be honest, the weakest part of the humor. Any one of us can find slapstick funny, because cartoon violence is funny. Anyone can laugh at the scene where Stan says patronizing things to Gideon while he's suffering from a miniature tickle attack. But references to Street Fighter and old 2012 memes are something that either not everyone will recognize, thus ruining the joke and making an entire episode worthless to some people, or it will look dated, which while cute can also be horribly obnoxious. Overall, I can't say I didn't like it, but I liked it like most shows I rambled about. Like something I can watch on the telly 1 to 2 times a day and then forget all about. Like all of these shows, it will have a stable fan base of people who will draw characters having sex, and for the most part that's their entire value. In the case of Gravity Falls, I'd say it's also a damn good Americana. If you don't like reading, I guess this might as well be the Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn of this generation. So, do I have anything to say about the current cartoon industry overall? Honestly, not really. The style has changed, as well as acceptable personalities, but the problems of it are in many ways the same as they were before, and what the anime industry suffers from as well. They have found a niche, and they will continue to exploit it for all that it's worth until death, only for the industry to suffer a minor recession, reinvent something that will be popular, rinse and repeat. I guess that can be considered a bad thing, but I personally don't mind. After all, everything new is forgotten old.